Tottenham Hotspur will win the Europa League. They will. And I'll tell you why. It's not that I have such growing or glowing confidence in this manager. It's not that I think we've got the greatest team ever. It's not because I think that this competition is one that we will sweep all before us. But it's quite simply, sometimes your name is on it. Now, I might be going a bit too early with this, but Spurs are 3 games away from winning the Europa League. 2 semi-final legs and the final. And Spurs so far, as a Spurs fan, I can say this, have had quite a nice run. Let's be brutally honest. Sometimes the luck is on your side. And for me, the luck is very much on our side. To date, we haven't really had to do a lot to get to the semi-finals. Now, I'm not knocking that. It's the age-old adage, isn't it? You can only beat who's in front of you. Well, Tottenham Hotspur haven't had a difficult ride to this point, and we're there. In a season that sees us sitting 15th in the Premier League table with 17 defeats in 32 games, we need some positivity, some sunshine, some hope, some belief, something from somewhere. And the Europa League, whilst it's not been pretty for most of the journey, it is providing that relief to us. It's providing that hope. It's providing that last spark of what can we do this season. Now, I said there, I didn't think it had been that pretty. And I'm going to show you what I mean. I think Tottenham have had a relatively nice journey, especially up until the semi-finals. Okay, so when you look at who Tottenham have played, I'm going to show you here. So this was before last night's game. You can see Karabag, Ferencvaros, Alkmaar, lost to Galatasaray, lost to Roma, lost to drew with Rangers, but beat Hoffenheim, beat Elfsborg, beat Alkmaar. The last one on that screen is a draw to Frankfurt and then a 1-0 winning Frankfurt. So listen, when you look at that, it's not been an amazing cup run. It's not been one where we've swept all before us. It's not one where we've been scoring loads and loads and loads of goals and we've looked breathtaking. But it is one where we've found the path. We've navigated our way through. Now, the 2 games against Frankfurt kind of summed Tottenham up. Some very good bits, some bad bits. But yesterday, what we saw for the first time in a long, long time was Ange Postecoglou move away from what can only be described this year as Ange ball. This notion that Tottenham play this attacking, front-footed football. And I've said all year we don't. And we look poor for that. We look poor when we try to play that. We look wide open, gaps, lots and lots of gaps in behind us. Teams getting in down our channels. But yesterday was different. Yesterday, that didn't happen. Yesterday, we didn't invert our fullbacks. Yesterday, we didn't have massive gaps down the channels. Yesterday, we did put 2 midfielders in front of the back 4. And how much better did we look for it? Football is not rocket science to me. It's not. Don't let the opposition get in behind your weaknesses. And if your weakness is down the channels, don't let that happen. And yesterday, Tottenham Hotspur played differently. It wasn't great on the eye. It wasn't free-flowing football. It wasn't chance after chance. But it was organised. It was hard-working. It was togetherness. It was committed. There was a spirit there. There was a sense of everyone playing for their fellow man. And a manager that I don't like, Ange Postecoglou. And if you're watching me for the first time, he's not the manager for me. I don't rate him. But yesterday, he got it spot on. And there's always credit where credit's due. I think he's been dreadful in the league. But yesterday, he got it spot on. His tactics worked. The tempo worked. The substitutions worked. Going to a back 3 when Frankfurt started to get on top of us in the last 15, 20 minutes. They started to throw a lot of balls into the box. They started to overload. And he put Danso on. And he went to a back 3. And Spurs dug in. And it's something we've not seen a lot this year. We saw this against Man City when we dug in, didn't invert, and we looked good. And then as soon as the City game finished, we all asked ourselves, are we going to play like that from now on? Are we going to dig in and sit and go at teams on a transition? But we didn't. And we didn't win for ages after the City game. Then at Brentford, we sat in. Not a low block, but we sat in. We defended well. We didn't invert the fullbacks. Guess what? We hit them on the transition. We got the win there as well. And then after that game, we reverted to type. But yesterday, we didn't revert to type. Now, if I had seen this from this manager all year, adapting week in, week out, I wouldn't be Ange out. But the big question remains, did we do that purely for this game? Did we do that purely because if he had lost yesterday, surely he would have been sacked? These are questions I don't know the answer to, and neither do you. I don't know. You don't know. We can guess. We can have a look at past events. We can have a look at history, and it tells us that he won't change. But what if he does? At the moment, I'm not enamored by him. But yesterday, he got it spot on. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to say that a manager or a player you don't like did well. But let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look at what this all means. So if we have a look here, you can see there that off the back of yesterday, and this is going to get to my main point as to why Tottenham will win the Europa League. Everyone's sitting there going, Lazio are going to do this. And Lazio, a team with European pedigree, a team with heritage, if you will, football heritage. They got themselves into a position where they're going through. They lost the first leg 2-0 to Bodo, but then were 3-0 up on the night and Bodo get a late goal. And suddenly it's extra time and penalties. And Lazio's penalties were dreadful and Bodo have gone through. And we'll come back to that in a minute because that is the game that Tottenham will have next. And for me, that's the reason we're going to win it. I'm not knocking Bodo Glimt. I've said all year, they're a good team. They're a dark horse. They're well organised, well drilled. They're hard to beat, especially at their stadium. But if Tottenham Hotspur are ever going to win another European trophy, this has to be it, doesn't it? This has to be it. We know that Athletic Bilbao are playing Man United. We know that. We know what Man U are about. Bilbao, who are actually my favourites for the tournament. I know that sounds mad. I'm saying they're my favourites, but I think Tottenham will win it. Bilbao are the best team. I've just got this feeling now. I've just got this feeling. Everything is going into place for Ange. Not in the league, not in the cups, but in the Europa League. It's falling into place. The chips are falling nicely for him. The fixtures are stacking up nicely. Now, Frankfurt are a decent team, yes. But I said before the two Frankfurt games, this shouldn't be a team that we're going, oh my gosh, this is really scary. We should be getting through, and we did. Bodo, we should be getting through. If we don't, it will be so Spursy. It's unbelievable. But Spursy is what we do best. But you know what? Ange Postecoglou, for me, he's got, I would say, 9 lives. It feels like he's got all the cats in the world, all their lives rolled in together because, let's be brutally honest, this man shouldn't be here. He shouldn't be here by performances, by results, by all the problems he's having, arguing with the fans and the media. The way we've played, he shouldn't be here. But he is. And I get the feeling he's going to win this. And if he does, I will say thank you. I will hold my hands up and say, you know what? I was wrong about you in the Europa League. It doesn't mean I will want him to stay, but I will say thank you. For me, for him to stay, let me caveat that. I need to see him adapt weekly. I need to see him change. I need to see him being nicer to fans. I need to see him better with the media, whether that's media trained or whatever. But it feels like everything's falling into place. Now, what do we know? What do we know about Bodo Glimt? And I'm not by any stretch of the imagination, I'm not discounting them. But if Tottenham can't beat Bodo Glimt over 2 legs for the opportunity to win a Europa League, then something is very wrong. You can see at home this year, other than the defeat to Karabag in the Cup, they've actually been quite strong, beating Porto, Besiktas, Maccabi Tel Aviv, 20, Olympiacos, Lazio, all the teams they've beaten at their own grounds. But they're not great away. You can see they lost to Lazio, lost to Olympiacos, lost to 20, lost to Man United. So drew with Union St. Galois. So it's an interesting team. It really, really is. However, I think Tottenham Hotspur should have enough to beat them over 2 legs. I think at home, Tottenham Hotspur are going to beat these 2-3-1, 2-3-0. But away from home, I think it's going to be more tricky because what we do know is that they have got the plastic pitch and their stadium, it's 8,270 or 60 or something like that. So it's going to be a culture shock for Spurs. It's going to be freezing cold over there in Norway. But I do think Tottenham have enough. And I do think that Man United might beat Bilbao. Tottenham, Man United in the final, I think Tottenham will win. Now, it's not often I'm this confident. So don't get used to it, as my man, Mr. Box Office, would say. But everything is stacking up nicely for this manager. Let me know your thoughts. Please like, please subscribe, and help this channel grow. Take care, everyone. See you later. And as always, come on, you Spurs.